bargain over the budget. Zoe Conway reports from Washington.
No wonder it took Florida 4 days to count its votes. Take a look at the ballot paper. 10 pages long, some voters spent 45 minutes on filling it out. If you want to understand why President Obama won here, look at the queues of voters. Many are Latino, and exit polls suggest 3 out of 5 voted for him. Republicans aren't just struggling to win the support of Hispanics in Florida. Nationally, the president won 2/3 of their vote.
I think that Obama was more knowledgeable about the needs of the Latino vote. The Republicans need to work more on that aspect.
It's a very long shot for them to win the Latino vote, because we as Latinos don't trust them. It's going to be a very long time.
The Florida result will have an impact on the balance of power in Washington, strengthening the bargaining position of the president as he enters into tough negotiations with Republicans over tackling the country's debt.
I'm open to compromise and new ideas, but I refuse to accept any approach that isn't balanced. I will not ask students or seniors or middle-class families to pay down the entire deficit, while people making over $250,000 a year aren't asked to pay a dime more in taxes. This was the central question in the election, and on Tuesday we found out that the majority of Americans agree with my approach.
It's the idea of taxing the wealthy more that Republicans most object to. But there just might be room for compromise. Perhaps if both parties agree to close tax loopholes for the wealthiest.
Instead of raising tax rates on the American people and accepting the damage it will do to our economy, let's start to actually solve the problem. Now let's focus on tax reform that closes special interest loopholes and lowers tax rates.
The Florida result strengthens President Obama's position when it comes to negotiating with Republicans in Congress. But there will be those close to the president warning him not to overinterpret his mandate. Back in 2004, when George W. Bush was re-elected, he thought he had enough political capital to radically reform America's pension system. But it turned out he couldn't get a deal. Zoe Conway, BBC News, Washington.